What's up, SSPN family? This is just an unfortunate occasion, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe some of you have found a way to make a positive out of this, but your boy Jude over here, unfortunately, me and Ethan couldn't get together. But I am just absolutely pissed. I've tried to think of this in different ways. Obviously, the news happened earlier today. I'm recording this at 10:31. I just got home from my girl's house, and I'm going to Galveston tomorrow. So, I mean, that's what I'm planning on. And to be honest with you, maybe I didn't give these rumors enough credence. I was like, this has happened over the past couple years. I'll believe it when I see it. But lo and behold, it happened. And, if you follow me on Twitter, follow me and Ethan, at Jude McLaren, at Ethan_Quintero. You saw that when the Mark Stein tweet came out and said that the move was imminent, it was a Sesame Street character, and they just said, oh, Lord Jesus, because that's how I feel about this. And now that I see the trade, at first when I heard about it, or I just saw the details and didn't know too much. Sorry about my hair, y'all. Didn't know too much. There's a fly. I knew there was a fly. I don't know if y'all saw him on the screen. He was over here. Anyways, now I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. No, let's get back to where I was at. So I see the Mark Stein. I think it's either Mark J. Spears or Mark Stein, one of those two guys. Notification pop up on my Twitter feed, and then I get the Woj notification, and I see the pics. And it's just not enough for me, y'all. It just really isn't enough for me right now. We'll see what happens. Maybe the Hornets suck next year, and this is another top 10 pick. But I mean, I think I'm overrating. I'm overrating this because it seems like the Spurs are moving into full rebuild mode, right? Obviously with this move. But when I first heard that, I'm like, bro, I swear, if we're in the play-in next year and Keldon Johnson is averaging 25, I'm gonna be, y'all can see it in my eyes. I'm not gonna be very happy. But Brian Wright is out here playing my GM. That is what's happening. We're gonna clip that, and that's all I'm gonna post. No context. Well, y'all see the full video, but on Twitter. Anyways, and I'm all over the place right now, but I'm just giving y'all my raw, straight up emotions to this. But let's just go straight into the trade now that I've bannered here for however long with my crazy hair. Okay, so we're getting 3 picks and a pick swap. So really, we're not even, I mean, you could say technically it's 4, but really we got 3 picks and Gallinari. If y'all watched Gallo play this year, y'all saw that, he kind of declined. I mean, getting him is like getting Thad Young, but he's less playable. Keita Bates is better than him in my opinion right now. And maybe I just haven't watched enough Hawks tape, but it seemed like he kind of became a defensive liability. He's getting up there in age. He's really just an off-ball shooter at this point. And, I mean, he's basically just another version of Bjelica. I hate to say that, but, that's kind of what he's turned into. So that's just, to make the cap work from my perspective. And then we've got our 3 picks. So we got Charlotte next year. Okay. They're going to get a new coach, probably have a better year than they did last year. LaMelo is going to be a year better. If they bring back Miles Bridges, he'll be a year better. More chemistry. I don't really know what the issue with James Borrego was, but I have a feeling that they'll probably be a year better with LaMelo Ball. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that's still a play-in team at worst. So it's that's not a crazy good pick. And you could say, oh, well, it's a lottery pick, but I just think Dejounte is worth more than that. And then I know we have the other 2 picks. I believe it's 2027 from Atlanta and 2025. The only problem is, in 2025 and in 2027 is going to be the complete prime of Trae Young and Dejounte Murray. Those picks are going to suck. And so, to me, it just doesn't make sense. I got a little emotional there. I really got into it there. But, because I don't even want to put too much energy into it, because it's at the end of the day, it's just basketball. I love my Spurs, but it's okay. Look, y'all see the jersey. Y'all see it right there. What is this? He's our 25-year-old all-star who just went for 29-9, and now we're gonna trade him. I don't get it. So let's talk. I meant to start off the video by saying I'm gonna talk about the pros because the rest of the video is gonna be cons. Let's get back into the pros here. Okay. So I don't know. Obviously, I don't know Brian Wright's big board. I don't know what he's going through on a daily basis. I don't know what his thought process is on this trade. I know that he thinks the Spurs aren't, need they need more to contend, right? They weren't in a position to not take the best player available. I agree with that. What I don't agree with, as of right now, is trading Dejounte. And the reason I don't agree with it is because he's 25 years old. He came in under Timmy, Tony, Manu, and Pop. He knows the Spurs system and the Spurs culture more than anybody. He's the main reason that we got a lot of our wins this year. And he's 25. And he's improved every single year in shooting, too. Like, I just don't think his ceiling's been reached. I think he's got 7 to 8 years of his prime left, like, at least. And we traded him. We traded our all-star point guard that we built up. That we know for sure, in my opinion, can be a championship piece. Like, I really think that. And maybe that's just me overrating Dejounte Murray, but I think with his defensive ability, his versatility to defend, his tenacity on defense, his drive, where he came from, how he grew up. I mean, the list goes on and on if you really look at this guy. And that's the reason why StatMuse was posting about him all this year. Because he opened everybody's eyes, and now we're going to trade him? Like, we're going to have to pay these dudes. I know he has Rich Paul as his agent, but, like, I don't see the concept there. Like, we're going to have to give these dudes big contracts. Whether it's Josh Primo, whether it's Devin Vassell, whether it's Keldon Johnson, or whether it's Dejounte Murray. Like, we're going to have to give these dudes big contracts. So that's where I don't understand, like, clearing cap space. If you think Primo's going to be better than him, that's the one thing that I can see. Because it's like, I can see the timeline argument a little bit more there. I don't see it that much because I think Dejounte has so much of his prime left that he could continue to get better and develop with these young guys. And then maybe you make some moves, you know, just trade off a couple pieces that aren't as proven as he is. But I guess when I'm talking about this, I do see the appeal of maybe thinking that Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Josh Primo all have a higher ceiling than Dejounte. But it's like you just don't know with injuries and stuff like that. And it's like Dejounte's actually dealt with that and came back. You don't know how that's going to happen if that happens to one of those guys. I mean, you know, hopefully that doesn't happen. But the point is, like, Dejounte was a for sure thing, in my opinion. And we don't really have another for sure thing on the roster other than maybe Keldon. Like, but the most proven, the most, like, Spur-like player you could ever... I mean, just the way it brought up, raised in it, molded by it. You know, I'm doing the Bane thing. But, like, this is, to me, and this is an exaggeration, but this is really how it felt to me, like, just on an emotional level. I love how that's what I'm talking about at this point in the recording, now that we're 7 minutes in. Or 8 minutes in. But the point is, look, this guy Dejounte, I mean, this is like Kawhi, but, like, he didn't do anything wrong, and we just shipped him when he was 25. Like, I know that Dejounte, obviously, like, you could say, oh, well, he's not going to be Kawhi, like, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we don't know his ceiling. And I feel like if you put Dejounte on, like, one of those teams with maybe not with Kawhi, if you take... I don't know. The point is, I think if you put Dejounte Murray, like this version of Dejounte Murray, on one of the Spurs teams that won a championship, there's a year that he could win Finals MVP if he's playing like this. And he's locking up a key perimeter guard, like if they played the Bucks and he just locked up Chris Middleton. Obviously, back in the day, that wouldn't be a possibility with Timmy and Tony. But, like, y'all get what I'm saying. If you replace Dejounte with Kawhi in a certain situation, like in that rookie year, I think there's and maybe I'm blasphemous and y'all disagree with this, but I think that I think he's close. He may not be as good as him at the end of the day, but, like, he's close. They're also, like, different players because Kawhi's a forward and DeJounte's a point guard. So it's like their play style is different too. I just think we let a good one go at the end of the day, y'all. I really do. I think it was too early. You know, maybe I understand, like, if you're... Another aspect or another way to think of this, if the Spurs are thinking this, because really we have no idea what they're thinking in this, and probably everything I'm saying in this video isn't going to be what it is because that's just how the Spurs operate. But going back to Dejounte, and now I'm blanking again on where I'm at because this is how this situation is making me feel. And I think that's basically it here because I can't think of it. I'm really trying to think of it right now when I'm talking to you guys, and I wish I could go back and rewind to remind myself, but I can't. But Dejounte Murray, we let a good one go. I think it's coming back to me here right now. If too young, 25, we don't know his potential. A stud. Like, I don't think that those 3 first-round picks are going to be, like, we'll get some solid guys out of there, but, like, you just never know. You don't know anything for certain in the NBA. And I think that this is one of those times where the Spurs let go of this. And a weird thing is, like, Pop agreed with this too. And I just don't like this trade. I just don't think that this trade is worth what Dejounte Murray is worth at the end of the day. And maybe we're looking on moving on from him in 2 off seasons and we weren't going to pay him. And so maybe you're getting max value in your eyes. That's what I was trying to get to earlier. I found what I was trying to say. If y'all remember just a little while ago where I was saying I forgot. That was what I meant, or what I remembered. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I just don't. I mean, maybe this trade works out for the Spurs because of the mass amount of talent that they have on the roster that are so young. You know, like, even though Primo has been in the year for a league, he's still 19. So, I mean, you've got Malachi Branham, you've got Blake Wesley. That's 3 6'5" guards right there. I know Primo's going to be remeasured. He was 6'6" last year, but he seems to think he's 6'7", 6'8". It's like, anyways, I'm not even going to get into that. We've talked about that already. But I would like to say Robert Woodard is 6'7". So in that picture where he's like right next to him, that is closer to 6'6". But, you know, it might be 6'5" with the hair. We'll get off of Primo's height. The point is you have a lot of guards that are young, talented. Blake Wesley does remind me a little bit of Dejounte in some ways. So maybe you're just betting on all those guys. They all were picked ahead of where Dejounte was picked, but Dejounte was also a very unique circumstance because of his upbringing and his situation that I can see why a lot of teams passed on him. It wasn't necessarily because of his talent, so I don't think that that's necessarily a comparable comparison. ESPN, just overall talent-wise, had Dejounte rated as the 9th best player in that draft that he was in. Obviously minus all of his affiliations from things growing up that caused teams to pass on him. And that's what I'm talking about here, guys. Another homegrown superstar. And we're just trading him away. And this time, it's not because he has a crazy uncle that, you know, wants to force his way out. A guy who wasn't, as far as we know, wasn't, you know, raring to leave San Antonio. The only thing he had said is how much San Antonio had saved his life. I mean, that's what Dejounte said. So, Dejounte Murray, I freaking love you, dude. I'm so sorry. I'm sick that I'm going to have to see you in an Atlanta Hawks jersey. But you best know that I'll be rooting for you. Pain, man. So much pain. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I know it was a little all over the place. And hopefully there's no, like, mic issues either because this wasn't, like, through the internet. So, anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this reaction. Me and Ethan will be back after July 6th to talk about free agency. I'm sure a lot more is going to happen over that time. You may see a video from him with his perspective on this as well. But if not, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out our other content as well. Check out our clips that we just did. And yeah, all that stuff. Go to SpursTube TV if you want to get some SSPN merch. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter to stay updated at Jude McLaren and at Ethan Quintero. I'll see y'all in the next one. Cue the Titanic music. Bye-bye, Butterfree. Tears. I love you, Dejounte.